Shaun Haney here with RealAgriculture.com, and we're at Farm Tech in Edmonton, Alberta, and right now I'm joined by Rick White from the Canadian Canola Growers. Rick, how's it going?
Well, it's going pretty good, Shaun.
Is this your first Farm Tech, or where are you in your line of Farm Tech?
I've been here several times before, but I have not been here for a couple of years now, so it's great to be back.
You're enjoying yourself?
I am, yes.
Okay, I'm sure last week you were really enjoying yourself because TPP we're in.
That's right.
We're in the club, and boy, did it look like we weren't going to be in the club for a very short period of time. Were you concerned?
Yeah, we were very concerned. The TPP 11 deal, which is minus the U.S., we have felt strongly that the Canadian government should get involved, should sign the deal, because it is a good deal for Canadians and a good deal for Canadian farmers, in particular canola growers. It's an impressive area of growth and potential future opportunity for us, and we're very nervous when the Canadian government took its time. We understand now why, but we needed the deal done, and it is great to see it signed now.
Yeah, we were dragging our feet. I'm not sure how we want to describe that, but we were being a little bit difficult at the meeting in November in Vietnam.
Right.
So I guess, what is it about this deal that makes you so excited? Is it because we hear lots of times, oh, it's about Asia, it's a growing economy, and it's,
right.
it is a diversification of our trade portfolio. Is that sum it up, or is there other things?
Well, it's all of that probably. One of our key export destinations for Canadian canola is Japan. It's one of our long-standing, most valuable customer. They've been there, steady customer for years. Our competitiveness in that market was starting to be threatened by a bilateral deal between the other large canola exporter in the world, and that's Australia. They have a deal with Japan, and they were starting to get a tariff advantage of us on the oil side. And so there was a competitive threat there. And in addition to that, the opportunity to expand into a very robust and populated market. Asia, the Pacific Asia region is where we need to focus our attention in expanding our export opportunity.
If we're looking for populated places, Asia is a place to go.
Yes.
Okay, so, and I guess one of the things that's really been talked about in the last week is some of the advantages that we have over the U.S. now. The U.S. isn't in TPP. Of course, we are. We've got a leg up in some areas.
Well, I think we will, and now that we've established the TPP and will be involved formally, we'll start seeing the benefits of that trade. For example, in Japan in particular, we don't ship canola oil to Japan because there's a prohibitive tariff against shipping oil, so we export the seed, and all the value added goes with it gets captured by Japan. Under the TPP rules, there will be a reduction in that tariff in a phase out over 6 installments of that oil tariff, and over time you'll start to see us shipping more and more oil into the Japanese market, which means we capture the value added back here and the benefits of the jobs that go along with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for us to continue growing that canola demand because increasing acres does not seem to be a bit of a problem. We're headed to a situation where I think we're going to see record canola acres again this year, and so we have to have places to ship it, and free trade agreements are huge parts of making sure that happens. There's another area in Asia, though, that is obviously very important to the canola industry, and they're not in TPP. It's China.
That's right.
So a little bit of disappointment. We thought maybe we were going to be one of the first G7 countries to open bilateral trade talks. Didn't happen. Where do we go from here with China?
Well, I guess hopefully we need something with China. So they weren't able or not willing to come into the TPP realm, but that doesn't prevent us from going one-on-one with them and trying to get an agreement of some sort, an arrangement of some kind with them to stabilize the trade that's going in there. They are taking about 4 million tons of our canola every year. But sometimes when they drop off and they put up a non-tariff trade barrier, in our view, on things like blackleg or dockage issues, all of a sudden the market just comes and they stop buying. Well, that's a very large disruptive customer. If they're in the market one year for 4 million tons and they're not in the market all next year, we need some way to make a deal with China that we normalize the trade and stabilize the trade so they become a predictable market for us. They're very large, and I think we can get at that with a bilateral with China. And I know Prime Minister Trudeau started that ball rolling, didn't get it done when he was there, but hopefully they will keep trying and get something going.
Yeah, and some of those same sort of dockage issues the U.S. is facing now, and that same thing now in soybeans.
Right.
So welcome to that party.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's not a club you want to be in.
No.
You mentioned Australia. They're growing a lot of the same crops that we are. Are they really our major competitor into Asia? U.S. would be as well, but is Australia really the one we're watching?
Well, I mean, they were becoming a more credible threat because their oil tariff was starting to come off on their own bilateral deal with Japan, and ours wasn't. So it's not that we see them as a competitive threat when there's a level playing field, but all of a sudden they become more of a competitive threat when they get an advantage on tariffs that we don't. And so it becomes a competitive threat. So I think there's enough demand for canola to ensure that Canadian growers can grow as much as they want to or economically should be growing. The world, we can find a place in the world for it. And we're not, the market is very hungry for canola oil, so I'm not worried about market demand taking everything that Canada and Australia can feed into that market.
What kind of tariff are we dealing with currently before TPP into Japan?
Well, it runs around, I won't go, it's in yens per kilogram, but it's roughly a 15% tariff.
That's like yens per kilogram.
Yeah.
That's, liters per acre is hard enough.
That's right. Yeah, but it's around 15%. But there's no tariff on seed and meal, or seed in particular. So that's tariff free. So that's why that's called a tariff escalation. They'll have zero tariff on the seed. The value added product, which is the oil, there's a prohibitive tariff on it. We only ship seed because we can't afford to go in there with the 15% tariff on top of that.
Okay, great. Well, hey, Rick, it's great to chat with you about Asia and the opportunity and the success of TPP. So congratulations. I know you worked very, very hard on trying to make sure the canola was in the forefront of some of those discussions. So
right, and we're very happy and thank the government for sticking with it and keeping Canada in the game. There's benefits to come from this.
Yeah, there is industries that aren't totally ecstatic, auto workers and auto parts being one of them, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it's not all, we understand that too, but overall on balance, it's a good deal for Canada.
Okay, Rick, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Shaun.